chapters into The Strength of a Few. I didn't get a chance really to read much yesterday. I had to work, and then we just watched movies and hung out and stuff, so I didn't really update you. And then today I also had to work, but we did make it up to Mount Hood just to see. It's super foggy, couldn't see anything, but Elliot hadn't been there before, so we had to go and do that too. But I got a little reading done today, and I'm hoping to get more reading done tonight. I'm enjoying this so far. I do kind of wish that I would have reread book 1. It has been a while, especially since when I started chapter 1, I was like, oh, I don't remember anything. But that's just because at the end of book 1, we learned there are 3 different worlds, and when Viz did the labyrinth in book 1, he split into 3, and he lost an arm in 2 of them, but I don't think in the first one that we're introduced to. So in the first world, we are with Viz, 2 arms, allegedly, and he is with his guardian's brother, who in his regular world they think is dead, but his brother is like, no, there must be more to this. And I guess he was right. And I don't know what their end goal is right now. And then Viz is also in another world where he woke up on like a pirate ship, and there's one man who is his ally trying to get him off of it, so that's stressful. And then we're also getting to follow him on his regular world after the trials at his school, and he just kind of has to make it through to get to this job that he thinks he's going to get to. And this feels a lot more like the Lycanius trilogy that James Arlington also wrote versus book 1. It feels different to me, but I'm still really enjoying it. I just have to make sure I'm keeping track of everything, and I'm like tabbing and writing notes to myself, honestly, because I feel like you have to with this book. But I think it's going pretty well so far. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, but I know we're also going to watch our show and have some popcorn and maybe go out to dinner again. I had last night the best cobbler that I've had in my entire life. It was so good, and I'm going to be thinking about it probably until I die. The ice cream was good. It came in this little like pot thing. I've never had a better dessert at a restaurant. I don't think. It was so good. And then we have more time for activities tomorrow because I don't have to work tomorrow, thank God. But I should have both more downtime and more time to do fun things. It's like in between seasons at Mount Hood too. We're here before ski season, but after like peak summer season. We might try and do a little hike tomorrow because I think it's actually not supposed to rain. It's gonna be cold and damp, but not raining, so we'll see about that. And definitely more reading is gonna happen. This cabin that we're in is so cute. You've probably seen it, and I'm loving this. This has been so fun. I think that we're gonna come back so that Elliot can snowboard at some point this winter. I will not be doing that. I will be sitting my butt down and being cute wherever we're staying. I am not interested in going down a hill. That's not for me. That's for somebody else. Going well so far. Interested to see how things turn out. I'm wondering if his 3 cells will like come back together before book 2, but this is a trilogy, I'm pretty sure, so I'm assuming something catastrophic is going to happen by the time we get to the end. But I have about 500-600 more pages to go before I get to the major catastrophe. I got to part 1 last night, or finished it, and there's a couple things that I think James Arlington just does so well that I find frustrating in a lot of other books. One thing that I think he does really, really well is platonic friendships and the importance that he like puts on them. I feel like Viz in every universe has friends and puts such a high importance on them, and I really like that about his character and about the way James Arlington writes his characters. Friendship is super important, and I feel like a lot of times some of the fantasy that I read is so romance focused or like chivalrous one way or the other, but that's not really the case here. I really enjoy that about these stories. I like getting to read about the friendships forming. And then the other thing that I think he does really well is that I don't always like a 3 timeline kind of book. I actually get really frustrated with it usually, and I just want to get to the timeline that I care about the most, because there is usually one that I prefer over the others. But I think in this one, I don't know if it's just because they are all Viz and I really like Viz, or if James Arlington is just an incredible writer, but I love all 3 timelines, and I am excited to get back into all 3 timelines. I don't feel this like sense of disappointment when I am changing in between the 2, and that has made this really readable for me. I do feel like each timeline is like a certain like trope or type of story, in the regular one that we were reading about in book 1, he is competing again. He has to take these tests to start in the workforce, basically. There's this man that had children in the same school that Viz was in book 1 that challenged him, and there was this chariot race. It was very fun. And then in another one, it's very much like John Gwynne-esque. He is working in fields as he helps this family that saved him, and it feels kind of like Viking-y almost. And then in the third one is where he is with that guy's brother and is trying to save the world basically and kill a god. No big deal. And that's also fun. I can't pinpoint what it reminds me of, but they feel like such 3 distinct stories, but I'm really enjoying them. We also have a really fun day ahead of us today, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done. We're going to be going on a hike and we're going to get breakfast, both of which I'm equally excited about. So I'll try and get some reading done tonight, but we'll see. Part 2 last night actually, because I tandem read it and I can only handle like 1 or 2 movies at a time, and then I need to do something else. So while Elliot was watching another movie, I had my earbuds in and was listening while I was reading. The audiobook is so slow. I was listening to it at like 3.2, and usually my absolute max is 2.5, but it is so unbelievably slow. It's not just like a me thing. I had Elliot listen to it too, and he doesn't read a ton, but he is listening to a series right now, and he agreed with me. It's absurdly slow. I don't know why, but I think Viz now knows that there are 3 worlds in each world that he's in, and the goal is if someone can survive in all of these worlds, it fixes the will in the regular world. I'm pretty sure is like the overall goal. He doesn't know the overall goal in all the worlds though, so that's kind of the issue. In the Viking world, he went to this kind of like fighting school and is learning to get over himself a little bit since he did lose an arm and has a limb difference, and learn how to fight. And he doesn't really get what he wants, but he does see his dead dad's ghost, or like reanimated corpse, I guess, and is just dealing with all of that and is learning about the 3 worlds and kind of what I think the goal will be for him in this world. I didn't quite get that far, but I'm going to find out. And he seems to be doing okay and alive. That's great. He did in the beginning of this world though, in the very beginning of this book, land with this farm family and was talking about like how he hasn't been happy like this in ever, and it's just really heartbreaking. It really feels like nature versus nurture, but it's like the nature happening to him in these 3 different worlds or timelines. It's a very distinct Viz in each one, which I think is interesting because it is also definitely Viz. I think that would be a really hard thing to do, to have both a distinct voice but make it seem like the same character. That's so interesting. The really bad world, Ulysor's brother is, Kaor, he has departed from Kaor. They have these things called gleaners, which are basically just people with blades for arms. And Viz has discovered that he can use will to control people. He can do like 2 people at once, and got into like the big bad castle to kill the god. And he kind of like befriends this one man who was on a sapper, and a sapper is a thing that just like takes all the will from you, and they kind of use them to steal will or punish prisoners. And Viz saved this man and kind of befriends him in a forcible way, and they meet this woman who is this like big con artist, and she's trying to get them out but definitely has like her own interests, and is kind of double crossing them almost at this point. I'm nervous for that Viz the most. I think he's in the most danger in that world. Like you can't even like breathe normally if you don't have like these beetle things that heal you. So it's basically you're breathing in all these toxins and the beetle is healing you fast enough so that you don't die. Horrible. And in the regular world, Viz is trying to move up politically and have people trust him and also maintain his friendships. And I realize that at least in one of the worlds, doesn't know that his friend died. And that's also heartbreaking to me. But obviously in the regular world, he does know. And he is not as high up ranking in the pyramid as he was expecting to be with graduating top of his class, and that has been frustrating to him. And that's the only world where he's actually ceded his will, because that is the thing that he didn't want to do. That was his line. But he is finding new lines in all of the timelines, which I think is really interesting. But it's going really well so far. I haven't read a high fantasy like this all year probably, and I'm really enjoying it. It's making me want to read more high fantasy, but also James Islington just like kind of does it like nobody else. I guess I did read most of the One John Gwyn series, and I really liked it, but this is just like next level for me. I like this so much. And we're unfortunately going home today. I'm sad about it. And next time we go somewhere, I definitely don't want to work at all. Even though I can work from home, I would rather enjoy what we're doing. But we have about a 2-hour drive ahead of us, and we're gonna do a couple things before we leave, so it should still be a good day of vacation, but definitely back to reality. Boo. It's time to finish The Strength of the Few. We made it back home. We stopped at a cute little coffee shop that is on kind of the highway to Mount Hood, and we've stopped at it before. I think it's so cute, and the coffee has been consistently good. I think sometimes those cute little roadside coffee places, the coffee tastes absolutely rancid. Like, I don't know what they're doing in there to make it taste awful. Like, Folgers would be better. I don't understand how they make it taste so awful. However, this one is really, really good, and I enjoy it. And then we always stop at Roadhouse on the way back. It's kind of like a Texas Roadhouse situation. It's just local in Gresham. And it's pretty good consistently every time. They have these things called Texas egg rolls, which are basically just like deep fried cream cheese. Very good for you, I'm sure. And then they have like spicy jelly that you dip it in. It's so good. And so we keep coming back. But you probably don't care about that. You probably care about The Strength of the Few. I have just the one part left. I'm assuming it's 3 parts. So I'm going to try and finish that up tonight. It's about 200 pages, so I should be able to do that and then give you my final review. Not as cozy as reading in a cabin, but I did desperately miss my pets, so I am excited to be back. Rocket is absolutely passed out from daycare. He's this pile of blankets. He always is exhausted when we pick him up, and then the cats just like want to be in your mouth basically when we come back. They are so excited that it's not some stranger coming up and checking on them, and it's us. Let's get this book read. I finished The Strength of the Few. I'm so mad I did not get my reaction to the end. This might be a worse cliffhanger than the end of book 1. Just saying something, because I was very upset by the cliffhanger of book 1. What even is there to say? Viz in every universe made a lot of decisions, good and bad, and did a lot of big things in this book. I'm trying not to do any like spoilers, but we, let's say, got to see a lot of people who have died and interact with them in different ways. And I'm pretty sure someone is going to come back in book 3, and I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm stressed about it. Basically, in the normal universe, the one that we are the most familiar with, everything absolutely went to shit. Some of like they call them like military and religion and stuff like that, a couple of those basically overthrew everything. And not to Viz's advantage, so not great. In the universe with Care, with the brother, he just achieved what he had intended to do in theory, but I'm assuming it's not going to be as simple as that, because that's where that story cut off. And in the one where he was kind of learning how to be a warrior, it was kind of like a happy ending almost. He got to see the farm family and decide that it was his duty to try and be a warrior and do more good and not just like live for his comfort and his joy. Hard choice, obviously. This is so good. This is a 4.5-star read, I think, for me. Not a 5-star. I just didn't quite like it as much as The Will of the Many. There was a lot going on, so it was hard to absolutely love everything that was happening, but I liked it a lot. I was really invested in it, and I can't wait. I have no idea what's going to happen in the last one. I don't know if it's going to be like that Spider-Man meme with all the Vizes coming together. I am assuming that's how it's going to have to go. I don't know what else would happen, but the journey to get there, no clue. This was so good. We do get to meet the, I think they call him an Alupi, like the wolf dog, and the wolf dog I think is fine. So that's good. It was dicey there for a moment, but I think pretty much everyone except for one person that I really liked in this book made it. So that's pretty good odds compared to the last book. Yeah. Hopefully this was enjoyable. I had a great time. And let me know if you've read this and your thoughts. Otherwise, if you just want to say that you were here, is there a pyramid emoji? Anything triangular. That's great. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.